Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent and Most Merciful, I'd like to welcome you, dear viewers, to another in our series, In the Light of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May Allah's peace and blessings be on each and every one of you. In our program, we are looking at the variety of letters which have come in from different parts of the world, local letters also, and people are writing, asking questions about Islam or different aspects of Islam. In this segment, we're looking first the letter which has come to us from Algeria. This letter was written by, the name looks like Laid Movie or something like this. Dear sir, I'm so proud and honored to pick up my pen and write you this grateful letter for your weekly program, In the Light of Islam. I'm one of the regular followers of this program, and I enjoy it a lot since it is very fruitful. Here I would like to ask some questions. I'd like you to reply to them. What's the view of Islam on wearing amulets against evil eyes? Second question, is it halal to marry a non-Muslim? Finally, I hope your success in your program and wish the duration would be longer so we could benefit more from your wide knowledge. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, this question, first question, that is the Islamic view on wearing amulets against evil eyes, right? I know this is from in Algeria, and they're writing from a place I guess looks like Prsenter in Algeria, for those of you who are from Algeria. And the issue of wearing amulets against the evil eye, and I know there's one I think I've seen from Algeria, it's sort of blue, looks like a blue eye that people will wear on a chain and on lockets and things like this to protect from the evil eye. This is no good. It has no place in Islam at all. The Prophet Muhammad did tell us that the evil eye is true, it's real. It's not something which we can deny. And he told us to seek refuge in Allah from it. It's connected to a degree to jealousy. And if somebody starts to praise our children or ourselves or whatever, we should add to it, mashallah, that it is by Allah's will to remove unnecessary jealousy involved there. And he did inform us that we should regularly practice various prayers that we say in our day, which protect us in general from harm. Harm which may come from evil intent from those around us or in the society, as well as from the world of the jinn, which can influence us at different points in the day or different periods of time in our lives, especially in our times of weaknesses. So the methodology used by the Prophet, may God's peace and blessings be upon him, and as he recommended, was the recitation of Quran, utilization of various prayers, which we refer to as du'as. These are what are used from the Islamic perspective as a protection against the evil eye, or to break a spell or harm which may come from the evil eye. But the wearing of amulets, the Prophet Muhammad had said that whoever wears an amulet, or wears something, hangs something around their neck, etc., they depend on it. And it is shirk. That is, it involves worshipping or directing emotions of worship to other than God. So from an Islamic perspective, this is completely forbidden. The second question, is it halal, or that's permissible, to marry a non-believer? Well, as a basic principle, it is permissible. Allah states in the Quran that the women of the people of the book are halal for us. As their food has been made halal for us, the women have also been made halal. And Allah specifies women. He didn't say the men. So we understand from that Muslim males are permitted to marry non-Muslim females who are, as was identified, people of the book. That is, they're either Christians or Jews. So it means Buddhists or Hindus, or any other set of beliefs. Muslim males may not marry them. It's not permissible. If a person is an atheist or an apostate from Islam, they cannot be married. So permission has been given for Muslim males to marry non-Muslim females who are people of the book. Also, there is a condition which the Quran states, Allah has revealed in the Quran, adding to the description of the people of the book. He mentioned al-muhsanat, that is the chaste, C-H-A-S-T-E, not C-H-A-S-E-D. Some people might misunderstand that word, but it's the chaste, meaning the honorable women of the people of the book. Honorable meaning, in what respect? Muhsan, here it means that she has not had sexual relations outside of marriage. Either she's a virgin, or she's a divorcee, or a widow. That's it. As to one who has been involved in any kind of fornication before marriage, or after marriage, or after divorcing, etc., these are forbidden. So the idea, unfortunately, which has happened to some Muslims in different parts of the world, the third world, where they've gone to the West, to France, to Germany, to England, to America, Canada, etc., under the influence of the media, etc., where their ideal of beauty now becomes, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, woman of the West. So they're going looking for this for a wife, and they go to discos, clubs, whatever, to find a wife there. This is a big, big mistake. One, that is not a place to find a wife anyway. If you, a person, is a practicing Muslim, this is definitely not a place to find a wife. Secondly, this condition has to be there, that the woman is chaste, meaning she has not had sexual relations outside of marriage. And this is something which is rare in the West today, where from, kids, girls are in their teens, mid-teens, already virginity is looked at as, some kind of a defect. A girl who's, still a virgin in her mid-teens, late teens, she's considered defective, something wrong. She must be fat or ugly or something. Why is it she's, still got her virginity? So, so much so that one philanthropist in America was offering some huge sum of money for any woman who maintains her virginity up until the age of 21. And he didn't have that many takers. The point is that, finding a virgin in the Western hemisphere is like finding the proverbial needle in the haystack. This is the reality today. It's not to say they don't exist, but it is few and far between. So, if a Muslim were to marry a woman from the people of the book, being Christians or Jews, he has to observe this condition also. Furthermore, though Islam has permitted it, it is not something which is preferable. Where Muslims are weak, they're not able to establish their culture and their community. They're dominated by other cultures and communities. Muslims living in the West, for example, to marry a non-Muslim woman is to invite problems for oneself. If anything ever happens between them, the family breaks down, the courts are going to give those children to the mother. This is the standard procedure in the West. Unless they can prove that mother is, a drug addict or whatever, the mother's going to get the children. And that husband now is going to be put in a position where his children are going to be raised by a non-Muslim, meaning they're going to be raised as non-Muslims. So, from an Islamic perspective, it is definitely despicable, not like it's disliked for Muslims to get married in the West, or where Muslims are weak and dominated, marrying non-Muslim women. Where Muslims are strong, Islamic society is strong, to marry a non-Muslim woman there is no problem. This is adding to the overall strength of Islam. She'll likely be influenced by the society she's in to become a Muslim, and if not, there's no doubt that the children are going to be raised Muslims, and the courts would never give those children to a non-Muslim mother. If the husband himself was corrupt, he was sick, he was, whatever, she did not raise the children, they still would not give it to the mother. They wouldn't give it to the father, of course, because they will consider, the state of that man. but they will give it to one of his relatives, maybe his father, his brother, his sister, whatever, who are themselves practicing Muslims. To see that those children are raised as Muslims. Another point I should just mention on this issue, because, of course, one may raise the question from the feminist point of view, why is it that a Muslim man is allowed to marry non-Muslim women under those conditions, and Muslim woman is not allowed to marry non-Muslim men? Because according to Islamic law, the Muslim woman must marry a Muslim man. Why? Is this neo-chauvinism? Is this sexism? From the Islamic perspective, this principle is instituted for the protection of the religion of the woman. Because if that woman, if a non-Muslim woman, a Christian or Jewish woman, marries a Muslim man, and he asks her to do things which his religion prescribes, he asks her, for example, to not bring any alcohol in the house, to not bring any pork in the house. She doesn't want to eat these things. This is not against her religion. Her religion doesn't tell her she must have and utilize these things. Similarly, if he asks her, please, I don't want you wearing mini skirts, but you wear, long dress which clothes cover yourself, cover your hair, these type of things. Christianity doesn't say she cannot do this. It doesn't say that she must wear a mini skirt. Similarly, if he asks her, for example, when we meet our neighbors or friends, whatever, a couple come to visit us or whatever, please don't kiss, the husband of the woman. This is a common practice in the West. When you greet a man and his wife, we meet another man and his wife, the man kisses that other man's wife, and that man kisses your wife. This is like standard, common. But in Islam, this is something abhorrent. It's not a part of the Islamic teachings. It's forbidden. Unless the people are very old, very old people.